Hey, welcome in everybody. My name is Bob. I'm the Rocket City reseller. And if you found me, you're on the other side of the YouTube algorithm. PLUSHIE ARMY strong is what we are. We have about 336 105 gallon quarts full of plush. That's about 7,300 and so soldiers ready to go out the door at any given moment. And we're going to get into the video. We have about $1,017 in sales in a 28-hour period. So I know that's kind of a random number. I usually do 24 hours, but it is a holiday weekend. So we have an extra little bit of time and almost through this day. So I'm sure that number is going to increase as we go along. But for now, that is what we're looking at for sales. And we're going to go ahead and get into the video and make sure you're liking, subscribing, following along the journey because we're only getting started. Onto the video. Okay, we are looking for a vintage 2002 TY Beanie Buddy Curly the Bear. He is going out of here. He sold for $25 on Poshmark in a month. And Curly the Bear is in bin number 2. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Curly out for you. Be right back. Okay, here he is, Curly the Bear. Curly had the tag still, which is unheard of at this age. Curly is vintage 2002. And the tag is a little creased. We usually indicate that in the listings, but these are getting harder and harder to find, the bigger ones, not the small Beanie Babies. Don't come at me in chat with the Beanie Babies. Those can sell, but they don't sell as much. So this one, again, sold for $25 on Poshmark. And yes, you can sell more than clothes on Poshmark. So if you weren't tracking that, this one's off to his new home and super cute, super weighted, like he has lots of beans in them, and super soft after all these years. All right, this next little guy is an Awana Cubby Bear Plush. Whoa, that's a lot to say. $19 sold on eBay and then sold in 2 months. And he's cute. He's got a little blue and red vest on, and he's super, super soft. Look at his little face. So adorable. As the embroidered eyes. Usually the ones with those usually do fairly well. But he does have a plastic nose. I'm surprised by that. Usually when they go this way, they don't usually go that way. But yeah, he's super cute and he's off to his new home. All right, this Bun Pink Cat Plush sold for $6.25. And we've had this thing for a very, very long time. 10 out of 10, don't recommend picking up Buns. They just don't sell for us anyways. So hopefully you're having a better result. But again, new tag. Sold for $6.25 in an eternity to sell on eBay. And I can see the appeal in these little guys. They're kind of cute and stout. And yeah, avoid buns, I guess. And we are back. And one of the best things about being an online seller on Whatnot is you get a lot of signal in the market whenever something is trending. And right now, Gigglescape on Target Plush is actually trending on Whatnot. So what that means is there's a lot of requests for it. Whenever that's sought after, we start to see market indicators on our other static platforms that increase sales. And we have a couple of Gigglescape plush to pull in this particular run. So that's what we're seeing in trends. So just know that. So if you're a plushie reseller, if you're out and about and you see the tag, Gigglescape, this one had writing in the tag, buyer didn't mind. But if you see that right there, that's a Target plush and tends to be sought after now. Go figure. So this little guy sold for $15 on eBay in 17 days. That's a good indicator as well right there, because plush can tend to be long tail, meaning it takes a long time to sell through. This one sold rather quickly and he's off to his new home. So be on the lookout for your Gigglescape. Okay, we are back in this Aurora Cuddly Friends Esmeralda Calico Cat plush. Sold for $14.99 in 19 days. And it sold on eBay. This particular plush is due a tag. And I'm not familiar with Cuddly Friends particularly, but I know that Aurora makes a lot of different series of plush. And this little calico is off to its new home. Apparently most calico cats are female cats. I did not know that until I started selling plush. So not always, but I guess majority. So something to, the more you know, I guess. He's off to his new home and another $15 probably paid nickel for. All right, on to the next. Okay, sidebar really quick. Just how fantastic is this? I was looking for that calico cat. We just pulled and we came across this 1999 puff lump, and it is just so clean and pristine. Whoever had this prior took really good care of it, and kind of often wondered the story behind why these end up in thrift stores and in Goodwill bins and things of that nature. But I just wanted to point that out since we're in this tote. And if you're out there looking for plushies and things of that nature to sell, puff lumps by Fisher Price are definitely worth a pickup. This is probably listed between 30 to 50. On to the next. All right, this next one is in bin 32, and it looks like vintage 2002 Eugene the Jeep Popeye plush. And it's right here on top, actually. What a beautiful day it is out here in Alabama. Never know through my dirty windows, but here we are. So the tag is worn, and this Popeye plush, I'll just say, do your comps, but most Popeye plush sells and sells well. It's few and far between. I think this is an even newer one, but this particular one sold for $67. $67, and it sold on Etsy in 2 months. But it's still vintage, but it is a newer one. It's not exactly like more than 20 years old, but yeah. So he's off to his new home, and someone's getting a great Popeye plush. On to the next one. Be on the lookout, Popeye. I went back and looked at the tag. It's 2005, so yeah, just barely vintage, but it is considered that under Etsy's eyes. So I wanted to be sure, just to make sure that I'm telling you guys a full truth, because transparency is everything here at Rocket City Reseller. All right, on to the next one. Okay, we are back with this Layla doll, and this one is probably an Easter gift if I had to take a guess. It's a pretty nice doll. Let's see, it sold for vintage. Well, no, she's not vintage. Layla doll, brunette, pink dress, plush doll, bunny ears. Not very creative, but it did sell for $24 on Poshmark in less than a month. So, right by our right time, likely. And, like I said, Easter's right around the corner. So make sure you're getting your Easter, items up for sale. They're starting to sell now. And it is February 16th at the time of this recording. Let's just talk about how I made the throw. That never happens. I should have recorded it. But, 9 times out of 10, I failed to do that. Don't do that. Do better. All right, on to the next. Okay, this next one wasn't listed very long. This is a Gabby's Dollhouse Pandy and Mercat plush, and it sold in, looks like 18 days for $25, and it sold on Poshmark. So Gabby's Dollhouse has always trended well for us personally. This Mercat is battery operated, makes sounds and works. And yeah, so if you're not picking up Gabby's Dollhouse, I certainly would. Also, Sophia the First, Doc McStuffins, all those types of plush do sell and do sell well. So those are just a few that you can be on the lookout for. On to the next. Just told you guys to do better. Let's see if I can get it in. What did I tell you? It was in the bag. That's why I tried. Okay, so there is a TY tie-dye teddy bear that is in here. We're going to dig and talk about who's coming up on the podcast. This will likely drop after that. This particular individual is coming out because he is coming out tonight, Monday, February 16th. And it's Wade's Ventures. So if you're into this storage locker scene and you like that type of content, you're definitely going to not want to miss us interview Wade's Ventures, and he's a super cool dude. Agreed to be on, and here it is, the tie-dye plushie. It sold $33 on Etsy. Let's see how long it took. This one took 8 months on Etsy and $33. On to the next. Don't miss out on Wade. Come back and replay and watch them. So usually during these videos, I'll tell you the good, the bad, the indifferent. If you're new here, if you didn't know that, just know that. So I am extremely tired today. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with me, but I just wanted to point that out. So if I'm even more lethargic than normal, I just want to apologize. We'll definitely get through this one. But yeah, this next plush set is what actually fuels my fire, is why I mentioned that. It's wins like this that make the difference at the end of the day for someone who is just starting out. And we've been doing this for about 2.5 years, since 2022. And It's been a little bit longer than that, I suppose. But this next plush set sold for $252 in 4 months. And let's go ahead and get it out and talk about it. And be right back. Okay, so here it is. It's a Disney Toy Story lot that we put together. And again, we picked these guys up in different places along the road and different times. And we try to find like similar items and bundle them up. And sometimes it works. Majority of times they just want to message you and tell you to ask you to split it, but just stay firm and you will get a buyer. This one took 4 months to do so. Sold for $252. Disney, Pixar, Toy Story plush bundle out of 14 on Poshmark, and sold in 4 months. Yeah, so we have Bo Peep in here. We have Ducky. We have Rex and all the gangs here. So we can't say how grateful we are to that buyer for stepping in and doing that. I was a little concerned actually on this weekend about sales, but even when I'm concerned about that, God still provided the way. And this time around, he provided another $1,000 towards our son's education. If you didn't know, we're saving towards tuition for him. He wants to be a lawyer. So every purchase that we make, or I'm sorry, someone makes from us, goes towards that. So I just wanted to shout that out if you weren't tracking that. And we're off to the next plush set. All right, real quick, I'm going to need another basket apparently. Maybe I'll bring this one into the house so we can keep on playing this. But yeah, that one took quite a bit of room in there. And look at the rest of the stuff that's in here. Vintage Dalmatians, some Tomorrowland, some Lady and the Tramp, some newer stuff. We have Inside Out, Embarrassment, I believe that is. Yeah, so this one's, we already did inventory. So if you're not new here, you know that. It's only been a few weeks since inventory and we've already sold through this much. So we are selling stuff and it's turning around and it's starting to become days instead of months. And that's a good thing. So why be concerned, right? It's everything's going swimmingly, and we're going to move on to the rest of the video. All right, this next plushie is a Disney Bambi vintage plush, and it sold for $28. It is from 1992, and it's Mattel. Sold for $28 on Etsy, and wow, he's fantastic. Look at the condition of his eyes. I mean, just very, very slight wear there. Considering how old it is, I would say that's pretty good. And he's super cute. He's super off to his new home. So see you later, baby. On to the next one. Okay, so this Wish Pets octopus plush sold for $9.62 in eternity to sell. And it sold on Etsy. It is vintage, I believe. Yep, it is. From... looks like 2001. So I'm taking all reasonable offers on animals. We're moving away from realistic ones. They're just not selling as fast or as well as we would have hoped for. So if you're in the market for some really quality realistic animals, come check out our eBay store. Strike up a deal. So yeah, so this one's off to its new home, and yeah, it's really cool. It's probably a teaching aid, I would think. So. Well, this really is turning out to be a really awesome day here in Alabama. I think we've finally turned the corner on winter, and I had to take off the old sweatshirt because it is getting hot in here and the sales keep on rolling in. My phone is going crazy. So I can only imagine what we're going to have in sales, and I'll probably put that here, the final number. And yeah, can't say thank you enough to everybody who's supporting us along the way. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Make sure you're following on all the platforms because we're just getting started. I always jokingly go on about my plushie army, but if anybody was in the plushie army, it's just Camo Monkey. I'll call him, for sake of lack of a better term, Lieutenant Colonel Cuteness is off to his new home, and Lieutenant Colonel Cuteness sold for $15 on eBay in 6 months. So he is new at tag. It is Peekaboo, and all silliness aside, Peekaboo can make okay plush. It's not the best quality, but it can sell well, especially when it's new tag. So there's someone out there that's a fan of camo, and he is off to his new home. Salute to you, Lieutenant Colonel Cuteness. Alrighty, guys, welcome back in, and we have another Fisher Price plushie going out of here. This is more of a newer one. Not a lot of value in this one. It's a doodle bear. Apparently, you can ride on it and wash it. I think that's the tail of this one. And let's see if we can find out how much it sold for. It didn't sell for much. I know that it sold for $13 in 6 months on eBay. And like I said, it's one of those ones you can ride on. Doodle Bear by Fisher Price. Super cute. Someone's going to have an artistic experience. Alrighty, we are back with this awesome Cookie Monster. You love cookie. Me too, Cookie Monster. Me too. Oh, you diabetes, why do you hate me so? Do better, pancreas. Alright, anyways. $236. It was in $236. It sold for $26 in 6 months on eBay. And it's 2006 Namco Sesame Street plush Cookie Monster. And what can I say about this guy? He's fantastic, and he's in his jammies, and he's got his cookie. He's all the things Sesame Street, and he's going to make someone really, really happy. Alrighty, so this Eco Nation by Aurora little fox sold for $13, and it sold in 17 days on eBay. He's pretty fantastic. Again, the embroidered eyes always are a good key takeaway from this one. One of two things is happening here. It's either for a dog or for a young child. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but there's usually the key markers for success right there. And it's super small, so it's easy to hold. So someone loves foxes and someone loves quality. And this one's off to its new home. All right, so this Buffalo Plaid Brown Lovey security blanket sold, and it sold for $12.44 in 6 months. And it probably was actually less than that in relist. So if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm saying, it's we're using an application called Nifty.ai to do our inventory and cross-listing. And what that does is basically refreshes your listings, delists them, relists them. So this one was originally listed an eon ago and just recently got touched by Nifty. Again, we have 77,300 listings on our platforms at any given time, and that's increasing as we're moving along. So basically, what that does is it grabs 100 every day and reposts them. So it's not a lot. So that way you don't get snagged for, any breach of policies on any of the platforms. That's by design. But this one was relisted and sold. So there's no brand on it, but it's super cute and got the crinkle touch and feel to it and all the things. And what can I say about him? He is absolutely fantastic. $12.44 on eBay. He's off to his new home. All right, so this next one didn't sell for a whole lot, but it is super nice plush, $8.91. It's sold via cross listing again, Nifty, and sold on eBay. It's a Gund Shea Sea Turtle Tortoise plush, and there it is. Item number is 32035. Name is Shea by Gund, and it's a cute little turtle. He's off to his new home. Again, he sold for $8.91 in an eternity to take on eBay. All right, so the Disney Brave plush set sold, and it sold for pretty good money. It is $38.25, and it took 6 months to sell on eBay. And what can I say? I call my wife Mirda all the time because she is spunky like her. And so this one had the two brothers. We couldn't find a third brother to put with her, but she is super fantastic. This is actually the second mirror that we sold this week. We sold another set earlier in another video. That one probably came out before this one. So anyways, we sell a lot of this stuff. So if you can find them, bundle them up, put together, and they can move pretty quickly and for pretty good money. On to the next. All right, so this one was actually a pretty good sale. It was $50 and some change on, looks like eBay, and it sold in 6 months. His name is Tangy the Tan Kitty. And he's a kitty. Tangy, his tag's a little creased. But other than that, he is a vintage. And he's pretty nice. I will say $50.52 on eBay. Really good sale. This one's courtesy of a cross list by Nifty. And if you haven't tried it, QR code here. I won't go droning on about it this time, but I will say code Rock City will save you 15% off your first month, and well, it paid for itself already for the year. So, and we're only 2 months in. Anyways, on to the next one, and this one's off to his new home. Okay, so this video is getting pretty long. Again, we've had over $1,000 in sales in about a 28-hour period. So can't say thank you enough to all our buyers out there. We're going to just run through some of these and put comps up on the screen for you. We have Gartino Ban. 19 days it took to sell, $14.57 on eBay. Here it is. And we have a Raising Cane's promo plush set of 4. Really good sell. $49 in 17 days on Poshmark. Here it is. And we have a Smoochie Pals veggie plush that sold for $24.99 in less than a month on eBay. Here it is. Super cute. And Valentine's Day cow pink heart plush. And we're still selling Valentine's Day, even though it's February 16th at the time of this recording. This one sold for $20 in 1 month on Poshmark. Here it is. Super cute. Looks like a little strawberry cow. We have a Kelly Toy blue-white striped lamb, and it's likely for Easter. $15 in 21 days for on eBay, rather. And we have a couple that even sold before we can locate them, and those are a blue Dachshund wiener dog here. And this buyer actually reached out to us and said, couldn't thank us enough. Been looking for this particular plush here for about 10 plus years. Her dad had gotten her one at a carnival, and she could never find it anywhere. So just so happens that we were able to find one down here in Alabama, which is, serendipitous to say the least. And this one's off to its new home, which I know that buyer's going to super love. So we can't thank them enough for reaching out to us and letting us know that story, because that kind of fuels my fire on days where it's like this, where I'm super tired. So find the wins where you can, because with success comes the long days and the hard work. It's not just luck. So keep on locking in, guys. Here's a few more. Kennel Club cream and brown spotted floppy puppy sold for $23 in 3 days. And a TY Classic 9-inch slush plush sold for $29 in 2 days. Here it is right here. And of course, our Lord and Savior, little baby Jesus, sold Oriental Trading Company for $12 in less than a month on eBay. Love, love, love everything about all these sales that are coming in. I just want to remind you guys, hey, listen, if you can't be good at it. And regardless, push, push, push through the tired. On to the next one.